Hi friends, this is Annie, and this talk is about the practice of understanding ourselves and other people as a way to create more joy and love to improve our relationships. I know that we've all dealing with people who are difficult. It could be a boss or a neighbor or even family members. And this practice of understanding is a concrete way to improve those relationships and have a happier life. Instead of spending all of our time trying to get someone else to understand us and our motivations and why we did things and why we're right, we turn that around and we practice understanding the other person, and that will give us more peace and joy as well as improve our relationships. So this is based on a post I made this week on social media of a Thich Nhat Hanh quote. And he said, "You can't resist loving someone when you really understand him or her." And I find that to be so true. And it's especially true applying it to myself first. So understanding myself and my own motivations and why I do things that sometimes aren't so helpful for myself and other people. I can look at my deeper motivation. What need was I really trying to meet when I made that action, when I did that thing that I don't like? And when I can understand myself and why I did something, I can forgive myself and move on from there. Next, we can apply this same practice to the people that we love. So people like our parents or our kids or friends, anyone that we love, but that maybe sometimes does things that aren't so lovable. So we can also ask ourselves if we understand their motivations, and we can look for the deeper motivations by talking directly to them and saying, "Can you share with me what caused you to do this, or what the underlying need was that you were trying to meet by doing this?" So for example, a small example, my husband the other day promised to do the dishes and then he ended up not doing them. 2 hours later, I found them all in the sink. And at first I was annoyed. But when I understood that he had been sick with a virus and really needed to rest, then I could forgive and move on because I understood. So we can ask someone, "Do I understand you enough?" And then the next kind of person we can apply this to is a stranger, someone we don't know, someone we're just meeting. And if we want to make a deep connection, we can try to understand them. We can find out what their suffering is, what their joys are. And when I do that, I always fall in love with the person. When I hear really their story, who they are and what they've been through, I always fall in love. So even if there's someone we can't talk to and they do something maybe that upsets us, we can guess at what their motivation might be, and that may help us understand them. So for example, if someone goes whizzing by us on the highway at 90 miles an hour and puts our lives in danger, we might think to ourselves, "Wow, I wonder what need they were trying to meet by doing that." And it could be that they're in a big hurry, and if we were in a hurry, we might do the same thing. Or it could be that they're very angry, and this is the only way they know to release their anger. Not to say that it's an okay way to do it, but to understand them, and that way we can let go and feel better. So I know that the Dalai Lama is someone who really listens deeply to people, and he will often say that he has never met a stranger. And that's because he understands people and he understands their suffering and joys. And when we do that, no one is a stranger. So the last category that we can look at, the last way to practice, is with groups of people that we don't know or don't understand. So that could be people from other countries, people of other races or genders. And we may have some judgment of them just because we don't know them. So understanding groups of people, we can do that by speaking directly to people and finding out about their experience, or we can watch documentaries or read books or listen to podcasts. And when we do that, we generate loving kindness. And that loving kindness is a benefit to them, but it's also a benefit to us. And it creates a more joyful, loving, and safer world for all of us. So I hope this understanding practice was helpful for you. And I wanted to also make a request. I've been making these videos and posting them every Friday, these mindfulness and mindful living videos. And my only hope is that they are helpful to you. because these practices have been very helpful for me in my life and have helped me get past addictions and anxiety and depression and have really made my life so much happier. And so I'm offering them to you freely. And what I'd like to know is what's working. Which videos have been helpful? Which practices are helpful for you? Which practices weren't as helpful? What your life is like right now with these practices and what you'd like to see more of. So please post in the comments or anything else, any other thoughts or requests you have for me. And I really want to hear from you. So please do post. Thank you for listening. With love.